do some what we call heel of hand frictions round the scapular area. So you can either choose to limit adding essential oils into that barrier oil, or you can either get a pre-blended oil with lots of crunchiness going on, which you really want to aim to get rid of. So just some nice thumb sweeping moves here. Just doing a little bit about the neck area there and the occipital. Welcome. Today we have a lovely treatment planned, which is an adapted Indian head massage, focusing on the back so that you can see the moves in a lot more detail, and then moving on so that you can see how the moves on the scalp look from the back view, which sometimes when you're doing seated Indian head massage you can't actually see. So we did a consultation earlier and we decided on which oils to use, which I'm going to blend shortly. But I just want to talk about those oils in particular and why we've chosen those, because it's not always necessary to do essential oils for an Indian head massage. A good base oil is often all you need. And in fact, in this instance, having discussed during the consultation, we've decided on avocado oil as the base oil. And avocado has some really lovely properties. It's designed to improve overall health hair, as it contains natural fatty acids, and these can help with damage that has been done to the cuticles. It also really helps to hydrate the hair, helping to lock in moisture. If you are doing a massage without essential oils, then other suitable oils would be things like almond oil or coconut oil. Do be cautious, obviously, if somebody has an allergy, so take that on board. Even something like mustard oil, if you're trying to stimulate the scalp, is a good one to use. So you can either choose to limit adding essential oils into that barrier oil, or you can either get a pre-blended oil which has some essential oils mixed in, or you can ask an aromatherapist to blend an oil blend for you. So in consultation we have decided to add in a few essential oils, and taking on board the state of the health and the well-being of the client, we've decided to use some classic essential oils and mix those into the avocado oil. So the first one we decided on was tea tree, which has a very cleansing air to it, which is antibacterial and is good for maybe anti-dandruff. Do check the concentration of any tea tree oil that you are purchasing, because some of it comes in quite strong forms and for something like this you would only need maybe 1 drop. What we've also decided to add in is ylang ylang, which is especially good for dry scalp. So if you've got any dry areas on the scalp, ylang ylang would help with that alongside the avocado oil. And one of the other oils we've decided to add in is rosemary. Rosemary is a favourite for hair thickness and hair growth, and promotes healing. Some other ones that you could potentially use are lavender, cedarwood is very good as well, peppermint, as long as they are diluted into a base oil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make that blend up so that we've got enough just to do this adapted Indian head massage, which is focusing on the top of the back, the shoulders, the scalp, and the sides of the face. Okay, I'm just going to move over now to blend the oil. So we're taking the avocado oil, and I love these little miniature jugs which just allow you to have a limited amount in there so you don't waste any product. And then literally I drop each of ylang ylang. 2 drops went in there, but it is very hard to judge. So let's just try and get 1. That's rosemary. And then you've got tea tree. Go. If you feel like too many drops have gone in, then you can always dilute it with some more barrier oil in there. Stir that up so that it's well blended. You can smell that. You can even get your client to smell this and make sure that they are happy with the blend. And then what we're going to do, so that there's a clear view of the back, is we're going to move to the side so that the moves on the back are very noticeable. So put enough in the hands to cover this back area. And just do some gentle effleurage moves around the back. And then we're just going to focus on any stress areas that are in this block here. There's lots of crunchiness going on, which you really want to aim to get rid of. So just some nice thumb sweeping moves here. To help the oils penetrate into the skin. I can already feel some crunchiness in those areas there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some what we call heel of hand frictions around this scapular area, because I can already feel that this area is one that is used a lot and needs specific focus. Stimulate that area a little bit more. Some hand frictions. A little bit of this knuckling move. Really, really digging in quite deeply to get rid of anything. But we don't go right on the spine, it's either side of the spine. Do some thumb rolls over these shoulders. Get rid of those last bits of crunchiness there. And just some finger pulls to get any lasting tension out of that area. That should really help get rid of anything that's left in terms of tension in those areas. And hopefully that shares some of the moves that we've been doing at the back, or if you're doing a seated Indian head massage you can't see, but that's really what you would be doing on the back. So in this adaptive version I'm just going to move and just do the top of the arms as well. So just pouring on a little bit more oil of our lovely blend. And we're not going to go right down, we're just going to do the tops of the arms, just shoulder to elbow. Just so that we get rid of any stress and tension in these areas. Obviously, if you were doing a seated massage, you would go right down to the very bottom of the arms and include a hand massage as well. But really today we're just trying to show what maybe you cannot and have not been able to see in some of the other massages that we've done. which is focused very much on the front. This is a replacement move for the forearm soothing that you would normally do, but this is perfectly adequate as an adapted version of that. Right, now what we're going to do is move on to the other areas of the scalp. So again, nice drop of the blended oil. Into the hair, and you can put on as much oil as you need. Just doing a little bit about the neck area there and the occipital. Just some gentle moves to cover that area. Taking you up into focusing on the scalp. So we're going to start with doing some heel rubbings around the ear. And it's going to look very different to a normal Indian head massage, because you would see this move. If you had your cameras at the front, you would see this from the front view, whereas this time you're actually seeing it from the back of the head. It's almost like getting a completely different view. Right, we're going to go in and do some finger frictions. And obviously, because your client is secure on the bed, you can be quite vigorous with these finger frictions, because you've not got to hold the head as you would in a sitting move. Just do some rubbing moves. Make sure you get towards the crown chakra as well to clear that. Very gently. And then friction across the whole head. Got our favourite move for some people, raindrops or piano tapping. can create quite a nice tingly sensation when you're doing that. So speed that up. Then what we're going to do is do some slight pressure moves on the ears. Just around the pressure point areas. Stimulate that scalp and that hair growth and the blood flow. All helps to relieve stress and induce relaxation. Get rid of those stress hormones, increase those relaxation hormones. And then just gentle massage on the ears. The one difference you are going to have is that you can't obviously do the face when your client is facing down like this. What you can do is do the ears, and then you can actually go in and just do the pressure points at the sides of the face. Because by this point your client may well be asleep and you don't really want to ask them to move. And I feel like my model is asleep. Okay, so just lots of palmar moves there. Just finish off on these ears again. Then if your client is awake, get them to breathe with you and go through aftercare. In this case, plenty of water and relaxation is encouraged. No heavy meals, preferably no alcohol for a while, and then try and leave the oil on the hair so that it can penetrate. And there you are, a lovely adapted Indian head massage with your client face down, still managing to do those restful moves.